Hello and welcome to Talkin Baseball. Dylan Cease is in San Diego and Blake Snell is nowhere. Let's talk baseball. Hello and welcome to Talkin Baseball. Thank you very much for joining us today on this beautiful March 18th, Monday morning, brought to you by SeatGeek. My name is Jimmy. Jake is here. Trevor is here. Producer BBD behind the dish. And we got some news since we last recorded. A big trade, one that we thought was going to happen earlier, but it did happen. And then we've got more non-news on some Boris clients. Trev, how are you doing?
James, everybody, I'm doing well. I told you guys before the show, this is going to be a juiced episode for me. I'm on some steroids and a new antibiotic. I don't know if you guys haven't mentioned it yet, so it kind of makes me feel better. But I have a swollen lymph node.
Nice.
And I kind of look like the guy that's made out of bugs from Men in Black. You know that guy?
Yeah, dude, you look awful.
You look pretty normal.
You can't see that?
Oh, man.
But I guess you guys are looking at a small screen of me. It's ridiculous.
I Googled Men in Black bugs.
The bug guy from Men in Black. I'm not going to do it because I know how the internet works. Like, they'll screenshot me and that picture will live on the internet forever. So people know what I'm talking about.
Talking about this bug guy?
No, dude.
Okay. I Googled Men in Black bugs.
Like, he's the main guy, and he gets mad if you step on a bug, and his neck is all weird, and he's got, like, he talks funny. He,
you
basically
think
talks out of
you
his
look
neck.
like the bad guy from Men in Black right now?
You can't see it that well, and I'm kind of crouching to talk into my mic.
Sugar water.
Yes. Yes,
Yeah.
that guy.
I look more like him on my best day.
You can't tell now?
No, man.
Move your microphone.
You have a beard.
I see it now that you're pointing it out. Yeah, you got a little watery pouch down there.
Thank you, James.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm doing great. We celebrated Olivia this weekend. It was amazing.
Dude, you kind of look like this guy.
That's what he's talking about.
I know.
Anyways, Jake, how you doing?
Trev, James, BBD, a reminder, the hitter has to be rewarded time by the umpire. So
He
can't
did give
just
it to me.
call it.
called it.
Doing well, man. Yeah. How about the cease drop? Kind of crazy timing for him. The rest of the team just took off for Korea. Hey, I'm excited for it to happen, and Padre fans, and they were right. Like I've kind of been tough on the fathers recently as we've been doing our TPPs and evaluating every team, and this, I don't know. I have this as pretty significant, so I'm happy you got to celebrate Olivia this weekend. BBD looked like he went hard launch on the gram. The O'Briens O'Briens had a St. Patty's party. Like, life's pretty good.
Life's been good to me this far.
The O'Briens are more Italian than anything else. That's what I found out this morning.
Yeah. My mom's dad is off the boat, Italian, and my dad's grandpa on his mom's side is the same. So my dad's like 50-50 Italian and Irish. My mom is 50% Italian, and then the other half is like German and Hungarian.
Okay.
So that leaves me, I'm like 50% Italian, 25% Irish, and then I'm 10 and 15 German and Hungarian. I don't celebrate the Hungarian. Never.
Damn.
That's tough. Stuff for the Hungarians.
I was over there recently. It was nice.
Lie.
Thanks, Beavers.
All right, Dylan Cease got traded to the Padres.
People about SeatGeek?
I told him that we were sponsored by SeatGeek. I forgot to tell them that they can get $20 off if they use code Talkin when they use a new email. So just do that. And they got tons of tickets available, a bunch of events. MLB season is starting. It's pretty easy.
Yeah,
they let you know if it's a good deal. Easy.
Dylan Cease saga has come to an end, wrote Anthony Franco from MLBTradeRumors.com. I read his sentence. I apologize. But anyway, yeah, the trade happened. Padres get Cease. It was like going crazy. Like, Rangers are leading. Yankees are making trades. And then the Padres pulled the trigger and got him. They get 2 years of control of Dylan Cease, who's very good. The White Sox in return got 4 players. They got the Padres' number 5 prospect, Drew Thorpe, who they had just gotten for Soto from the Yankees. So he gets flipped. Jairo, is it a soft J?
I couldn't find a guide on the first name, but Iriarte, the last name.
Jairo Iriarte.
That's great. You crushed it, bro. Yeah.
He's their number 7th prospect. So they got 2 of the Padres' top 10 prospects. He's 22 years old, AA from Venezuela. And then Sammy Zavala, he's a teenager and a reliever. They threw in an MLB reliever, Steven Wilson. Nice. I don't know. What do you make of this, Jake?
It changes my outlook for the Padres.
Yes.
They have a chance to have a very high-end, gaudy pitching staff. Joe Musgrove, who pitched really well outside of missing a little bit of time last year. Yu Darvish, always available to put a season together. Dylan Cease, and you can have a range of emotions how you feel about Dylan Cease, but between where the statistics are going to lie at the end of the year, but he's going to pitch. He's sneaky, got a lot of durable, most starts made in the past 3 years type deal that, okay, if you can pencil him in and find the range somewhere between his 2.2 ERA in 2022 and his 4.58 last year, that's such a valuable asset that Mike King, the other significant piece that came over in the Juan Soto trade, who has all the talent in the world. The question will be this year, just, can he stick with the rigors of being an everyday MLB starting pitcher? Those are 4 guys that I know this isn't how baseball works anymore, but those are 4 guys that can go complete game shutout on you. That's the kind of talent you're looking at, that if they're having their best day, your team's kind of screwed. So I've been tough on the Padres, and my Jakey one-liner, this guy's always got something to say. I said half the Padres roster was Dodgers, half the Padres rosters was A's. A couple Padres fans were like, that wasn't bad. You're kind of not too far off. Man, with Dylan Cease and that rotation, I don't know, man. It kind of changes my outlook for where they'll be battling in the West, and I think we'll get to how other teams will view this trade in a little bit, but they didn't have to empty the farm. And Jimmy, that's normally what you point out when a lot of these trades get to the brass tacks. This was their 3rd and 4th pitching prospect and another young kid. Padres did pretty well here.
I love it. I thought Cease was the jewel of the offseason just because of the 2 years of control, the cost-controlled salary during arbitration. He's going to make $8 million this year. And you mentioned, Jake, going back to 2021, 32 starts, 33 starts. That's what you need in the rotation that, needed a guy there. So, yeah, you're right. There's a chance now that San Diego's rotation goes from being well, there's guys there, but it lacks a little bit of depth. And now we're saying, okay, but those top 4 guys can be really, really good. We'll see what happens with that 5th spot. But I talked about this on Baseball Today a little bit. It always was weird to me that you sign Machado and Bogarts and Darvish, and you have all these guys signed for so long, Cronenworth for so long, and then for the organization to all of a sudden just kind of lose Snell, lose Hader, lose Soto, and then kind of go in the opposite direction. That's you can't really do that. So this, I feel like, marks the Padres going, back into a window of contention. And every time that they make a trade, the thing we always say is they didn't have to give up their top prospects. How is that possible? How does Preller do that when everybody else is giving up their top prospects? So you kind of have to give him a little bit of credit there. But I agree with you. This just puts them right back into the fold of things. Do I think they're going to be better than the Dodgers and win the NOS? No. Do I think they're going to be in the wild card contention? Yes. And, they're short on outfielders, sure, but they just named Jackson Merrill their center fielder. We'll see what Profar can do for them, but they're in a position to go see how the season starts and make some more moves. I know they're trying to stay under the luxury tax threshold, the first one, or whatever, which one they're. I think it's the first one now. But like they're back. It totally changes my perception of this team. Like one fell swoop, boom, Padres are back and are going to be in wild card contention. So this is a great move and a great day for Padres fans. And he looked good in his first start over there in Korea.
Padres are also discussing bringing Tommy Pham back on a 1-year deal, and they're going to have enough wiggle room remaining to like be active at the trade deadline, which is kind of what during their PvP, I was like, I don't know what direction they're going. It doesn't seem like they care right now because they traded away so many people and they got all these rookies. But turning Thorpe and flipping him for Cease is kind of exactly what you want to see. We care more about the next 2 years than being ready for the 4 years from now or 3 years from now. So I like it, and I think they're going to do some they should be active. Bringing Pham in would help them a lot. He was really a game changer for Arizona. So I agree with both of you that the rotation now goes from to
And now you turn Soto into Dylan Cease and Michael King. So you have 2 years of Cease and a bunch of years of Michael King. Like this is, I think you look at that trade and for 1 year of Soto, I feel like that's pretty favorable for the San Diego Padres, right?
2 years of King and 2 years of...
Oh, it's only 2 years of King? I thought it was more than that.
Yeah.
I thought it was a little weird during negotiations that they valued 2 years of King that much more than 4 years of Clark, but now it makes more sense.
Okay. I must have the other way around.
Yeah, I wonder what all the money in, money out is for that. But, Cease helps replace Snell really easily. And then Soto's in the field at bat is hard to replace, but they got hitters. I think it totally changes just especially vibes. Like, what are the Padres doing? What are they trying to do? And the opposite way, if you're Benintendi, you got to be like, what the fuck? Why did I sign 5 years here? The only one left standing.
He'll be gone too. Chris Getz is just throwing everybody out of there. Boom, get out of here.
I don't know, because Benny would have to have a good year.
Eat half of his contract, trade him to the Padres. White Sox fans, I guess let us know where you at. Haven't seen a lot of you guys on the internet streets, and I kind of understand why. How do you guys feel okay with how this ended? We're still two years removed from like actual hopes for this team and that strong rotation with Cease and Giolito and was it Lynn and Kopech? I don't know. I guess you let us know. I everything we said about the return. Like I said, Drew Thorpe. I don't know. He was a guy that was cracking top 100 lists and things like that. Jairo Iriarte, not as much in my bag as other things. It's going to be a long year, and I hope there's a lot of kids get chances on the south or north side. We'll never remember which one it is. But God, I don't know. I guess let me know how you're feeling, because I think every team looking at this trade would much rather be the Dylan Cease side of it.
Yes.
Do
you think those guys that did that one song that was just ultra cringe, like are they back now?
Gotta be.
Padres cringe song guys.
Yeah,
they have to be back.
Where they are.
Never left.
They're back.
Yeah. Why not?
Holy
man! And if you're the Padres, you're a little extra hyped because you get to play games that count earlier. You're over in Korea now. We're gonna be streaming those games.
Unless you lose them, then you're gonna be like, this is bullshit. These don't even count.
These shouldn't count.
100%.
We'll be streaming them 6 a.m. Get ready to have some breakfast with us, or maybe if you're on the West Coast, 3 a.m. Stay up all night. Let's get weird.
All night.
They also, and we haven't really talked about it because it's kind of deep Padres stuff, but Jackson Merrill, their top prospect, 20 years old, lefty hitting center fielder, a team that really needs lefties. They're giving him the nod. So we were just talking a little bit beforehand, like, hey, when are we getting the news on, the young bloods who are going to get the jobs? Is Jackson Holliday going to start the year with the Orioles? Jackson Merrill, okay, 2 Jacksons.
Why are there so many Jacksons going? Jackson Chourio as well?
Are coming.
Jackson Chourio. And it looks like they got a kid, Graham Pauley, who's a lefty third baseman who's going to get some runs. So I don't know I guess if I'm a Padres fan, a couple weeks ago, I didn't know if Jackson Merrill was going to get the chance and be my lefty hitting center fielder. We didn't have Dylan Cease. And yeah, I'm very interested to see how they do, whether veterans or just kind of taking flyers on guys to fill out this roster. You know, I was on a big Eddie Rosario kick, and he got the Nats kind of $2 million if you call me up deal, which I was really surprised they weren't in on that. Interested to see how they go bargain bin the rest of the way, because like you mentioned, I think they're $13 million below that first tax number, and they're definitely going to stay under that. So it'll be fun to watch the rest of the way.
Man,
I do want to shout out Ha-Seong Kim. They did play against the LG Twins last night in Korea, and he homered twice. And I guess my guy, Do-Young Park, who covers the Twins, is there. So I was following along via his tweets, and he said it was a crazy ovation for him. So that's really cool. I know it's an exhibition game and whatnot, but to go back to your country and drop 2 nukes, let's go.
did Woo-Suk go pitch?
Didn't watch the game. Just saw the highlight there.
Okay.
Beavers can look that up.
Woo-Suk go. He's having a rough spring. Had a rough spring.
Working on things, you know.
I think I read a tweet or an article that all the Korean and Japanese pitchers that came over, which is first time throwing the ball to players, working on shit. But the ERAs were like crazy.
Wasn't that a whole was that the Padres? There was one team we looked at that they were just like, we're just trying stuff.
It was the dude on the Marlins whose his interview was like, now I've learned not to throw that. I'm just learning what not to do. That came over from Japan. Forget.
Okay.
But good.
I do want to ask Padres fans one question, though. Fifth starter is up for grabs still. And there was some mention of Waldron, the knuckleballer, getting the 5th spot. A lot of the Padres fans in the comments pushed back. They said it's going to be Brito.
Johnny!
A knuckleballer in your rotation. I'm just so curious. Like, how does that... I don't want to take away from Waldron, but you just don't see it I feel like for reasons. I don't know. Unless he throws one of those hard knuckleballs, then I'm in. If you throw like one of those hard knuckleballs and you mix in a slider and a fastball more so than just straight up, RIP, all that Tim Wakefield.
What if I told you he was going to go 8 innings or 9 innings every time he started? And
didn't matter, just out there?
Well, no. 2 out of 5. If he makes 5 starts a month, 2 were guaranteed losses, but he's going to go 8, 9 innings every start. The other 3, you have a chance to win the game. Not saying he's dominant, but, gives up 3, gives up 4.
Kept you in it and pitched.
You have the chance to win the game. But he's got a rubber arm. It's a knuckleball. Can give you 8 or 9. You think that's valuable?
So 60% quality start ratio, and he saves your bullpen. And apparently there's like metrics that like if you face a knuckleballer, you're messed up for the next couple of days.
Next day, yeah.
Ooh.
That's your.
Did you just convince me?
That's your Rays. Didn't the Rays do that in the minor leagues?
Yes. They tried that, but they stopped.
And if it helps you, Waldron can actually like throw. He can throw a fastball in the 90s. His knucklers.
See, then
like
I'm in on. I'm
yeah.
not familiar with his game.
I think I believe when he came up last year, it was a thing that like he's a guy that throws a knuckleball regularly, but he has like real pitches.
Okay, then I'm in on you. I apologize. Okay. I'm back in.
And Woo-Suk pitched in the same game as Dylan Cease. Earned the save. It was 1 inning, 2 earned runs.
Got the save.
He did get the save. His first of the spring.
I wish Baseball Savant was around when Tim
like
Wakefield was pitching. I just got real. I would love to just like look at all the data.
There's a chance save, wins, holds, numbers might be reset for the Korea series. Definitely, it says save 1. I don't know.
Okay.
I also think I might be projecting a little bit. I liked soft throwers, so knuckleballers were always. I enjoyed facing them. It almost felt like a day off because you can't there's no scouting report for a knuckleballer. They're just like, go hit it, bro. Like fucking figure it out. And I like that. So I'm projecting a little bit. Apologies to Mr. Waldron.
I mean, those 4 years of R.A. Dickey. From 37 to 40 years old, 33 starts, 34 starts, 34 starts, 33 starts, 233 innings, 224, 215, 214 with like a high 3 ERA.
Yeah, I know that I faced him many. And I was his teammate too.
Ah.
Josh Tolley.
Yes.
Yes, the big old. That's you know what I'm back on knuckleballers just because the catchers wear those gloves. That's it.
Okay.
The big glove.
The Padres went out and got some better help, and this show is sponsored by Better Help. What's the first thing you'd do if you had an extra hour in the day? A lot of us spend our lives wishing we had more time. The question is, time for what? Best way to squeeze that special thing into your schedule is to know what's important to you and make it a priority. Therapy can help you find what matters to you so you can do more of it. And with BetterHelp, it's entirely online. It's designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. You'll fill out a brief questionnaire, get matched with a licensed therapist, and you can switch therapists at any time for no additional charge. So learn to make time for what makes you happy with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/TalkinBaseball. Name of the show, people. Today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/TalkinBaseball. There's a link in the description, and if therapy's been something you've been looking to try, why not give BetterHelp a shot at it?
I think Clayton Kershaw deserved more votes in the 2012 Cy Young voting. Just
say it, baby.
Know. He would have had 4 in a row. Like, Dickey was in contention for sure. Like, and if he won, I wouldn't be upset, but it shouldn't have been as much of a landslide as it was. They had very similar innings, game starts. Kershaw had a better ERA. Kershaw had a better whip. Dickey had 1 more strikeout. I don't know
Kershaw
why.
Fatigue.
It was on like year 2 of him being Cy Young guy. I don't know why. Just knuckleballer.
The novelty got him.
I think so. I think if Cueto and Dickey's stats are flipped, I think it's a more even vote. So, okay. Jolly, do a video on it.
Jilly.
Where are we dropping, boys? Where are we dropping next?
I mean, it's Snell, but it's just kind of frustrating because he pitched in front of scouts. So there's something. I don't know why. Did scouts just show up to him like practicing? I don't know.
Don't they know what he throws?
You just won the Cy Young. I don't think you have to like set that up, but that was a report.
Just throwing and they showed up.
Okay, so the Astros apparently were in hot pursuit of Blake Snell. Now the Astros had Urquidy get sent to elbow specialist to see what's going on with his arm. So maybe the Astros reached out in tandem with that news. I think much like Cole, Urquidy's news has been like it's not a tear.
Yeah, I didn't personally see anything definitive. It was still listed as just like forearm.
I thought they got good news.
I didn't see the official report after.
I'll Google it. And then it looks like Snell responded, or Snell's camp said, reportedly he wants 2 years, $66 million, with an opt-out after year 1. And the Astros are being like, nah, never mind. Urquidy's fine. See ya. That's all the reports. So now they're saying the Giants remain in the picture, but the Giants and the Angels have remained in the picture this whole time. So I don't know what's going on.
Doesn't feel like there's end in sight. Like, it doesn't feel like the passing sound effect is going to go off. As we talked about how injuries might happen and how that could be Boris's win, and that, hey, the Yankees have had their scare of all scares with Garrett Cole, and they, knock on whatever wood you got. They currently have gotten the best news they could get on that. The Astros rotation, which right now finishes up with Ronel Blanco and JP France, JP France slung a lot of innings last year, but that rotation is what it is. I don't know. The Astros shout out almost felt like a last ditch, and Nightingale already walked it back a little bit, but we also heard rumors pretty good that the Astros had offered to Snell. that kind of felt like a shot across the bow. Like, hey, Yankees, if you're really not going to offer, like, now's the time. Angels have to be sitting there like, what the hell, man? Like, imagine they've just had 6 for 2 on the table the whole duration. Just please accept this, Blake. I don't know. It's full-blown weird territory. We haven't seen this. Like, Trev, I know you've started, your MLB player side has started to kick in a little more because you're starting to give kind of the speech I've been giving. This guy's, like, young and just won the Cy Young. Like, why is 2 for 66 the floor?
Well, I mean, if you're not accepting 2 for 66, that's an industry problem, to be honest with you, especially with the opt-out after the first. Like, it's essentially going to be a 1-year, 33 deal for a guy that has 2 Cy Youngs in the bag, 1 in each league. They just came off of it. Like, for the Astros, they just don't want to go over the next competitive balance tax threshold, which, again, I want to remind everybody, it was self-imposed. This was not supposed to be the way that it was manipulated or used. Like, it was supposed to be for parity. It's a cap. So now these teams are saying, actually, we can't sign this guy because of those dang taxes that we put on ourselves. Like, this is crazy to me, man. Like, this guy can make your team so much better, and we have multiple teams. That's what the Yankees. That's why they're not going after him.
Yeah, but I mean, we don't blame the owners that spend. You got to blame the owners that don't spend, because the owners that spend would be spending, but
they had to vote on that too.
100, but they lost out. 110% vote, 110% tax. Is a little crazy.
It's ridiculous. Trust me, it's ridiculous. I wouldn't want to spend it either.
You also have the qualifying offer going against him. All this stuff the players thought was going to benefit them, it just continues to hurt them, because now you give up 2 draft picks and $1 million of international signing bonus to sign Snell. So
it's a huge thing for these teams now is that bonus money. Which, by the way, there didn't used to be a cap on that either.
Yeah, but that's all the stuff that are stopping them from signing, or some of the stuff is the tax for some teams, and then for teams that really fucking value draft picks and signing money because they don't go out and just get free agents all the time. It's $1 million to their international signing and 2 draft picks, I believe. And if he's hunting an opt out, you just let someone else grab that bill, and you get the bill that doesn't come with all the headaches. That's what I think teams are doing.
No, but nobody's going to feel bad for, what I'm talking about. Most of the time when I say stuff like this, people in the comments saying, like, no one's going to feel sorry for the athletes making millions of dollars. Like, I get that. I understand, this is a 1%er type problem. I think you just, like, in my mind, just scale it down to, regular jobs where you're the best at your trade, but you're not able to get paid what you're worth, essentially. So I don't know. It's we just talked before the show, like it was Snell prefers pitching for the Angels. Then it was the Astros are in. Now the Giants are the top team for him, and we just have no idea what's going to happen. And you're right, Jake. I don't think there's an end in sight. And the fact that it's not just Snell that's out there too is hilarious to me. We don't hear any of this about Montgomery, which maybe is by design. He's like, just shut the fuck up, everybody. But like, it's not just Snell that's out there. I mean, Descalfani's still out there. Lorenzen's still out there. Excuse me. And like, I don't know. I don't know when.
Yeah, but the market is being held up by Boris and Snell right now.
Well, why?
Because the Yankees aren't going to go get.
Like, they really think his price is going to drop that much where he's back in the picture.
I think if his price allows the next price to happen in whatever way it is, or they think they want him, they think it'll fall. They're playing the waiting game. An hour ago, Beebs just sent me this. An hour ago, Jose Urquidy had a forearm strain announced. So it is a strain. He's going to be placed on the injured list. And Espada said that it's a forearm strain. That's the only info he has. So if the Astros do want to act quickly on that, they acted quickly on Hader after Graveman news. Maybe it is imminent.
It seemed like Astros reporters were saying that, like, the way Espada was talking about it was kind of vague. They're just like kind of frustrated by the tone he used, but he said forearm strain at least, and for sure on the IL.
Do we have? Because there's a certain date when the draft pick stuff passes, right? Do we have that?
The draft.
So it's the day of the draft.
I believe so.
So are we just waiting for that at this point?
Snell's gonna be like coaching his youth team, just having fun with, like, I believe his wife is pregnant. Like, maybe just gonna sit at home. I don't know.
I mean,
it seems like that might be it.
for what we know about Snell, he has the perfect personality to handle this, which is kind of funny. But I don't know. Like, if we're getting to the point that we're talking about the big teams worried about the taxes and the draft pick, if we get to the point where the draft pick's gone and we're halfway through the season, so, that tax hit is going down with each day, if you're Snell, I don't know. And the teams, the other thing with that is the teams don't want to offer a 1-year deal because they don't want to give up the draft pick in that. Like, at this point, I think we might just be waiting for summer because, like, I think that's when Snell would get his best offers.
Yeah, that would suck.
But
as soon as the season starts, this isn't a headline anymore. You're talking about the season. Like, this is just continuously a headline because it's the off season. And I think they lose some leverage. And then, like, it is just truly like you're just waiting for another injury. And you're just going to keep waiting until the qualifying offer is off you, which is the All-Star break.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I understand, like, the qualifying offer being gone is enticing. But I really think it's these tax thresholds that are holding it up.
Well,
I think that's the main thing for people.
You would pay less, right? Because you don't have to pay him for the first half of the season. Like, that first year contract would be prorated.
But for instance, like, the Astros are $1.3 million away for their second tier, and like and the following 20 would put him over the next tier. So it's like, whatever contract he signs, like, they're going to be over the next tier. But yeah, I mean, everything helps. The longer they wait, it's better for the teams, obviously.
And how many injuries are going to happen between now and then? And who knows what other teams, like, what if St. Louis puts it together this year and they're back in it, but their pitching staff is starting to get thin? Like, wouldn't that bring that back into the mix? Like, I don't know. I think it almost feels like waiting game part 2 between injuries, losing the qualifying offer. And yeah, it would be a bad spot for baseball. And like you said, Jordan Montgomery's name gets mentioned once in this after coming off an incredible postseason. Like, something wrong with that.
I'm trying to think, like, what deferrals would do, because you end up just taking the average annual value. They calculate it some way. I mean, like, is that the option for teams too? Like, hey man, like, defer, and then we can get you, because it's going to help us with those taxes. And I don't know, man. We're kind of like scraping here to figure this out, but I think you guys are right. It's at this point when you're really setting up your rosters and getting everything set, like, you're not going to make a move until there's a major injury. And even then, you already have guys that you like. You saw in camp, this guy could do it, and he's going to cost me $750,000.
Dude.
Like, you would go there first, I think, rather than go out and get one of these guys that's going to cost you $30 million. You try what's in your org that's been in front of your face for 8 weeks in the spring training, and you know what you have, and it's going to be very much cost controlled. So really, it's just, man, I don't know.
Well, the biggest a comp here that I can remind everyone of what happened back in 2019 was Dallas Keuchel, another Boris client that had won a Cy Young. That was a free agent. He was coming off a pretty decent year. Well, 3.74
Took
ERA.
a step back.
Yeah, but one step back. The year before that was really good.
Right.
They were seeking 9 figures. He wanted them to get. And what ultimately happened was, because the qualifying offer was attached to Keuchel, he waited till after the draft. Now, then the draft was in June. It was June 4th. It's a month earlier than it is now, if what I just Googled is correct. The Braves signed Keuchel on June 6th, 2 days after the qualifying offer came off. And they agreed to terms with him, 1 year, $20 million. And because of half the season that started already, whatever, it was prorated down to just $13 million. So that's what teams right now are saying, hey, unless we're desperate, we'll just try to get him at the break.
Imagine, like, waiting until July to have to sign. Like, what the hell is he going to do?
He's going to stand on his business, Pop.
Yeah, he's going to be fucking slaying Fortnite all night.
Doesn't sound bad.
Got 51. You got 51 in the bank already.
He's chilling, man.
What did Keuchel get after that?
I'm trying to see. It looks like
Did COVID hit him?
3 for 56, something like that.
With the White Sox?
I'm trying to do my best math.
3 for 55.
Nice, Jake.
Thank you.
3 for 55. So 4 for 75 total.
To sum up what we just covered, we have no idea what's going on.
Monty?
But there was some good info in there. If people hadn't realized the qualifying offer dates and all that this could go very likely to July. Now, when Keuchel was a free agent, it was known. Like, at this time, it wasn't, where's he going to sign? The whole world was like, nah, it's going to be after the qualifying offer.
Once we hit this day, it was like pretty straight up said, like, he and Kimbrel after the qualifying offer.
And I think that was Kimbrel was asking for a big boy reliever price because he's sneaky Hall of Fame reliever when you just look at his stats. Keuchel, he was one of the first pitchers to really get hurt by kind of the metrics because, like, his stats ticked down, his metrics on his pitches were ticking down, that he was in that that was part of his hell, where Snell just won the Cy.
I got it. I know where he's going. I know where he's going.
Future guy.
Think back to that horrible, horrible year in 2020. There's unfinished business. Tampa Bay. 1 year, $33 million. Not going to put them over any CBT marks. Him and Cash ain't taking him out of the game anymore. I guarantee that Snell will drop kick Cash before he comes out of the game again. Find me a more logical place than that. If what we're dealing with is what we just talked about is what we're dealing with, find me a more logical place than that. It's the CBT. They don't give a shit about draft picks. Look at their team. There's no homegrown players. They don't care about that. Why not? Florida, so there's no taxes on your money. I mean,
He'd have to want to go back there.
He might not have a choice, James. He's sitting at home playing Fortnite right now.
He'll have choices come July 16th.
Let me tell you, it's fun to coach a youth team, and then it gets a little daunting sometimes, too. Especially if they're not your kids. Tampa Bay, you heard it here first.
Just think the Rays can get 6 innings out of 2 guys making the minimum.
He's going to Tampa.
Okay. Heard it here first from prediction guy Trevor Plouffe, future guy.
Future guy.
Speaking of some futures, how about DraftKings Sportsbook? My goodness, big week. Big week. March Mania is rolling on, and DraftKings Sportsbook, one of America's top-rated sportsbook apps, is giving new customers a shot to turn $5 into $150 instantly in bonus bets with any college basketball bet. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code Talkin. New customers can bet $5 to get $150 instantly in bonus bets only at the DraftKings Sportsbook with code Talkin. The crown is yours.
Couple other odds and ends. A's signed J.D. Davis. After being released by the San Francisco Giants, the A's signed third baseman J.D. Davis, 1-year deal worth $2.5 million. Can earn $1 million in incentives. Won his arbitration case and then got fucked.
A little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Is J.D. Davis just me
Oh.
now?
No.
With the lymph node, or what are you talking about?
That's tough, James. Don't fucking mention that. That hurts my feelings a little bit.
I thought you were mentioning it.
Gets released, goes to the A's, third baseman, like pretty good hitter, not that great of a hitter.
J.D. Davis, pretty good hitter.
You got a higher career OPS than me. You're right. I'm probably a little bit better defender. No big deal.
You are the better defender.
Oh, you've got him with the glove.
The fun, and I mean, Oakland, the land of opportunity. J.D. Davis, he said he went there because they said he could play. So he's like,
That's right. That's why I went to Oakland too.
yeah. So I don't know. Tough for whoever thought they were. I think Toro thought he was going to be playing a lot of third base for the A's this year, and now, I mean, J.D. Davis is like best hitter on that team. I don't know. How about, I love it. You're the star of the team, dude.
He's gonna get traded halfway through the year. I mean,
Yes.
they're really just there. Hey, come do what you have to do for us, and then we'll ship you off. Get some sort of prospect for you. That's it.
Fuck the A's.
Can I talk about Ali Marmol a little bit?
Man,
Oh,
they
maybe.
should get a
I can't
freeze.
wait. Can't wait.
The A's should have frozen accounts. Shouldn't be able to bring anyone to that team. That's so rude.
It's an opportunity.
They're still in Oakland this year, right?
If like you were
This year.
you know, calling the light tower and being like, our boat's sinking, our boat's sinking. Send us a new boat. Send us a new boat. And then they're like, all right, we'll work on it. We'll get you a nice new boat. It's going to cost money, but we'll get it. And then they were also like, this dude just drove past us. We're going to bring him onto our boat. They'd be like, no, don't bring anyone more people
add
onto your
people to
sinking
the
boat. We already said we'll get you out of there. Don't fucking bring people down with you. It's rude. That's rude. Trades with the A's should be illegal.
Stamp it.
Embargo with the A's.
I mean, I stand by Stripling. What happened to him and what happened to J.D. Davis? It's the Giants being so rude, knowing their scraps just fall into the sinking ship in Oakland. And I won't stand for it anymore.
Alex
Might not have to move. Bay Area.
Definitely not going to have to move.
It's nice.
But never moved there.
I'm looking up Ollie Marmol's minor league stats. He's played 4 seasons in the Cardinals organization.
Okay. CB Buckner knows him.
Okay.
They got in that fight, and CB Buckner said, "You never even been here," or something like that.
You just got
Yeah,
here.
you just got here.
You just got here. He's like, fuck, you're right, I did.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Can't come back from that.
Ooh.
I don't know. Cardinals extended Oli Marmol for 2 years, and I think it's like maybe the biggest slap in the face that front offices are saying that managers don't matter.
Wait,
They're coming off their worst year in 30 seasons.
but like,
They're hoping for stability. That's
That's is that like literally just because it's always just weird if managers are on an expiring deal? It's just to avoid a weird conversation he'll be asked once.
Katie Wu wrote a good piece on it, as she always does with The Athletic.
Shout out, Katie. Woo.
Shout out.
But yeah, I don't know. Trev, I don't want to bring you in the boat if you don't want to be in the boat, but I think a phrase I had heard you say was hoping for stability, and it feels like that's what they did.
They're used to having, like the utmost amount of stability, and just hasn't been that way. And I mean, I honestly, I don't know. And I don't know Ollie Marmol, man. Okay. Like I'm reacting off what I've seen of him as a manager. I've talked to a few guys. Okay. I don't know how you could see last season and be like, yeah, like that's our guy.
well, wait, hold on. I think the big disconnect here, in my opinion, is that manager extensions don't mean shit. Like Montoyo got extended and then fired within like 6 months of each other.
So you think that's just so he doesn't have to answer questions?
It's just
about
to
his-
get the reporters to not answer questions about his status. They pay him so little in comparison. I feel like we've seen managers get extended and fired nonstop. Like the Cubs signed Ross and then just like they don't care. That's a very expendable position. They just don't want the headache of a question. I don't think this means they like they like Marmol or dislike Marmol at all. I just think it means they just saying shut up. Managers have guaranteed contracts. They do, right?
I think the money's guaranteed to them. It doesn't affect luxury tax or anything.
But now that they make like $1 million,
Yeah, but
Is that what
that's
he's making?
still
Not
money.
everyone makes that.
Like the think about everything we talk about with the people running these front offices. Like
$2 million to
thinking
not
about
answer questions.
money.
I'd be like, hey, you're answering fucking questions. Bro.
doesn't go to AAV. I'm just saying
just
we see
saying.
this a lot.
That a lot.
Maybe he does something
coming
this
off
year.
a bad
and
season.
yeah, maybe he changes.
What's the
our-
percentage of managers that get fired versus their contract runs out and they just don't get back?
Are you asking me to calculate
It's
that
probably
right
a
No,
now?
I'm
chunk,
just saying
but how
that.
many? I don't know how many of them get extended and then fired that year. Which, if they have a bad year this year, Ollie Marmol can't be back.
Yeah, I think it's a very spring training. We're going to put faith in you, but they don't. It's not like this is going to keep him around, guaranteed.
There are so many guys who want to be big league managers. This isn't one of those jobs where like for instance, the president of the United States, like clearly not many people want to be the president of the United States. Okay. Everybody wants to be a big league manager. There's so many options out there. Like, I don't know, man. Especially in that organization.
Montoyo extended April 1st, 2012, as soon as they broke camp, fired. 2022. I don't know why I said 12. Fired July 13th, 2022.
Only because I remember it 2 years ago, I guess now, because like Booney, technically his contract expired, then the Yankees re-signed him after. And I remember during that season, a bunch of articles happened sporadically. They were like, this is not normal. Like usually
you get extended.
They'll tack on for a manager and don't care.
I got a question for you guys. That's just quick. Boone's done. He's like, I'm going to go spend time with my family, whatever it is. Like an amicable split from the Yankees. Now you're searching for a new manager. Would you rather have a guy that's been in an organization for a long time, like a lifer who like is very familiar with everybody? Everybody knows him. Everybody likes him. He's a well-liked guy. He just rises up and all of a sudden, boom, he's your manager. Or do you look outside at a young, flashy type, maybe it's a former player that just got done, or like, what would you prefer for your manager? And I'll go first. I want the guy that everybody knows, the stability. Like, I want that guy. I think that's a better thing to have in an organization. Which, like, I guess Marmol is that guy for the Cardinals. Like, he's been in the organization since 2007. Like, everybody knows him. Was there hiccups last year? Sure. Like, hiccups might not be the right word. Throw-ups? Like, there's some bad stuff that went down in that clubhouse last year, but maybe that's what they're thinking, dude. Like, we know this guy. Like, everyone knows who he is. Like, let's give him another year or so. See how it goes.
I have no idea.
Okay.
I don't know who I'd rather play for.
Boone was like a little bit of both, I guess.
Whoever,
right? Like,
whoever starts me.
Whoever starts me.
I think that's who I'd grab.
Okay. Maybe that was a bad question. I don't know, guys.
Well, that's a question we got to ask you. You played.
I kind of went through a bunch of different ones. I mean, Gardenhire had been there forever. Like I felt like he was a great fit. And when he was just kind of over it at the end, like he'd done it so long, like he was over it. And they brought in Molitor, who was like never managed before, but was in the organization as a rover. So everybody knew him. So that was like, that made a lot of sense. But again, like I don't think he realized how much work the job was either. We've had conversations about that, like paperwork and shit like that I'm talking about. I guess everyone I played for was like, had been in the organization for a while. I don't know. Maybe that isn't a good question for me.
Managers don't matter.
Also that.
Boom. Roasted.
Well, I guess Kapler was like not in the organization. He was the young stud.
Still is.
But I had a relationship with him, so I liked him.
You knew him.
Yuri Perez. That's a tough one for the Marlins. He's gotten his elbow looked at. I don't know if we have information on it yet, but he's so young. That sucks.
A lot of injuries on that rotation.
Bummer. Anything else flown around? I don't think so.
Sandy went TJ, Braxton Garrett, Edward Cabrera, both having shoulder issues. They're probably going to start the season on the IL. Now Yuri Perez.
Seems like
that's
on
tough.
The IL.
Sixto Sanchez twirling it for them in the bullpen. People hasn't thrown a MLB pitch since pre-COVID, I believe.
It's crazy. He was like the next guy up.
Yeah, he was next. Baseball can come at you fast.
Dodgers and Braves have their rotations solidified.
Snaps for Stone.
Gavin Stone. If you haven't seen what his brother's been doing in the warehouse games on Team McFlurry Power, go check that out because it's
who's more famous now. I don't know.
Ooh, good question. Probably Gavin, but we'll get there.
Probably a little bit Gavin.
We'll get there. And then who's the Bryce Elder got sent down? Who's the Lopez for the Braves?
Yes.
Ronaldo. So he's kind of doing one of those reliever into starter type deals.
Oh.
Love swing, just like Jake likes.
From the corners of
Snaps for him as well.
heart.
Well,
I like
he
this is
signed
like
early
one of
in
my
the
favorite.
offseason.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite parts of the season. Is when we're starting to get those videos of managers being like, "You made the team. You got the fifth start in the rotation." I like that shit. You don't like that, James? Come on.
I mean,
the managers
no.
The managers suck at it. They suck at it.
Sometimes they're good. Majority of times, it's awful.
When they try to prank them, you don't really.
When they try to prank them and make them feel like they got sent down, I don't like that at all. I'm like, just do the good news, guys. No one cares.
I
about
focus
you.
on the reaction of the player more because it's like they're like going through it. Yeah, the managers are too cheesy. I agree with you there, but I still like the videos. And
was it Volpe last year where they like teased him and he was like his heart was in his throat and he was like a young nervous kid? And I was like, guys, come on.
I don't think they gave it to him too bad. Like they said one line about like, we want to do what's best for your development.
Oh,
and
yeah.
we think that'll be at the big league.
Yeah.
Whatever. I probably
That's a good
misspoke on
one.
it exactly.
That was fine. That was fine.
That one was
nothing.
fine. That one
There's
was
some
fine.
that are good. I like when they do it in the clubhouse, like when in
front of the
football
teammates.
in front of the
I like
teammates.
that too.
My dad's advice when we started having a real company was you give good news in a group and you give bad news solo. And the good news solo videos are really awkward. They don't know what to do. But if you have all their teammates around, they like jump and cheer with you, and then you get them more energy out of it.
Could be bad news for another player if they're finding out they're not going to the show.
Yeah, it's a
between
different
them and
relationship
someone else.
there. But it was sometimes when they
Good point, Jake.
But what they do sometimes is they do like the three guys that are going up together and they tell the three at once. That's cool.
I like those.
Also, all those videos. Maybe I'm backtracking on my statement that I like them. You're getting recorded without your consent.
Well, some places are one-party consent.
Okay.
I mean,
Managers' offices are one-party consent.
What are Florida and Arizona?
Yeah.
Florida's got to be one-party consent. I mean,
If there's ever been a
Oh,
place
it's
that I would
two-party.
bet.
it's two-party consent.
Oh.
Damn.
I got some more snaps. Snaps for Cole Calhoun. He announced his retirement. I think that guy was a player, man.
Sure was.
Hey, he went on a
Could
little
play.
run
Had
last
some
year.
really good defensive plays out there in the outfield. Never cared about his body much. Like he was diving and doing shit all around the outfield. Like I like that. And shout out Redheads.
Okay. Yes.
Cole Calhoun career earnings, Trev?
Ooh, shoot. I think they're pretty good.
Got at least
37.
one deal, right?
Yes. 51?
51-2.
Dang, bro. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Joey Votto homered in his first spring at bat as a Blue Jay.
That's
He
cool.
didn't homer, though. It was off the wall.
Baba. Joey Gallo is 2 home runs away from being sole member of the 200-200 club. 200 home runs with a career average under 200.
Oh,
That's on Reddit from Killahamron.
All right, look at this thing.
Yeah, I really see it now that you pointed it out to me.
yeah, I would have just said weird. I'm getting a weird angle, but now I see it.
Goodbye.